I appreciate
got shot down the first time. You know, let's just keep kind of working at it.
I think you described yourself, though, to be specific in the book, you were creepy. That's your own word, bro.
Yeah,
that's your own word.
I know.
No, dude, it really is.
I think I've moved past that a little bit.
You know what's so cool, though, seriously, and I tell my kids get grossed out by me loving on my wife, too, like, Dad, what it is. But, man, that bond, man, says something because they know. Man, you're not, you said in your book, too, this is something that really got me. I'm never leaving you. There will be nothing that ever separates us. So to have that as your foundation and your kids to know that, that's a big deal. Now, I know difficult circumstances happen and things happen in life, but to be working towards that or have that as a goal is a big deal. And it's a huge thing, man. You've really set the example.
Well, I think the most important thing with kids, too, is they see everything. They see everything. They don't miss anything. And so you can say all you want, but if that's not the way that you're acting or portraying it, then they're going to see through that. And so my wife and I talk about that all the time, and just how perceptive they are and how we want to model the type of relationship that we want them to be in. Like, I know this with my daughter, I need to model her husband. Like, I need to be the person that I want her husband to be. So she's only 2, so we got a long way to go here. But she's daddy's little girl, no doubt.
Hey, well, let's get back into one other area that is very important to you, man. Football's big, man. Family is big, but man, your faith. I read the book, man, and we grew up similar. I mean, I grew up in the Baptist church some too, you know, and it was always a snoozer. That's why we kind of take it up a notch here. We're just trying to change it up a little bit. Now, again, it doesn't mean that that's wrong or bad. There's all kind of different ways. But, you know, you went into church on one particular day, torn ACL, and the pastor said one phrase that God used in your life, a few good men. Talk about that moment and talk about the time you said, all right, Jesus, I give it to you, man. I'm done with me. I surrender. Talk about that a little bit.
So I went to church with my parents were divorced. Mom didn't go to church. My dad did. First Baptist Church of Austin, Texas. So every other weekend I'd have with my dad, and so we go to First Baptist. And you know, in the beginning as a kid, it's like, all right, going to Sunday school so I can sneak into the next room and get the free donuts from the other Sunday school
Now
class.
You know why we have free donuts here at Century Church.
That's right.
Same reason.
And then, you know, listen to some of the cool Bible stories, you know, about David and Goliath or whatever else, and then go into the main church, and like you said, a snoozer, me and my brother just kind of, you know, hitting each other in the pew or, you know, dozing off. And but as I got older, my brother and I were very much into sports. I mean, we were all about sports. In fact, I'd say, I mean, that's what we served. We served sports, you know. And so when I tore my ACL my junior year of high school, we were on our way to a state championship. I was the starting quarterback, kind of a big man on campus, and all of a sudden, again, you get this feeling like something's being ripped away from you. I'd had friends have that same injury in high school, and again, torn ACL, this was 25 years ago, so that was at times a career-ending injury for a lot of guys. Like, I saw many guys not come back the same after that. In fact, I only became the starting quarterback because the guy in front of me tore his ACL our sophomore year, and I took his job. So I'm thinking, okay, I've lost my job to somebody else now, and my dream now is being ripped away. So I sat in church a couple weeks later on crutches, big knee brace, fresh out of surgery, just sitting there going, man, I may never play football again. How's this going to affect my baseball career? All this stuff. All of a sudden, sports, which was so important to me, which is what I, you know, was my total focus and dedication to, all of a sudden felt like, you know what, that might not be an option anymore, you know. And so what am I really living for? I mean, I just felt real empty inside. And it was at that moment that our pastor got up there and said, God is looking for a few good men to disciple for him and to carry on his word. And all of a sudden it just hit me. It was like Jesus just grabbed a hold of my heart. And it was like, you are one of his few good men. And so at that moment I took Jesus in my heart, and I lived for a totally new purpose now. You know, it was, you know, sports not who I am, it's just what I do, it's what I love to do, it's what I feel like God has equipped me to do in a lot of ways. It's going to be his talents, his abilities, but it's merely a vehicle for his purpose.
You know what's cool, and the reason I say that, y'all, man, we talk about this all the time at Central Church, but, you know, religion's everywhere. You know, religion, man, is most of the time empty, kind of dead, but a relationship with Jesus, man, changes everything. And that's what's so cool. When I read the book, and I was like, man, Drew, it was that moment, you know. It was like, dude, it ain't about religion, it's not about church, man. It was about a relationship with Jesus, and I give it to you. I give you everything I have. And then, even in the midst of that, some of us in here think, well, okay, well, I gave Jesus my life. Why didn't everything go right? Why didn't it all turn around? But that's what I love in your book, and that's why I love you as a man. It's just because it's not all perfect. There's a lot of ugly, difficult, challenging circumstances, whether it's injuries or family or football teams that are given up, but cities that are destroyed. But yet, in the midst of that, your faith was strong and you kept going through, whether it's with your family or whether it's again with your friends, whatever's going to go on. Did you ever, in the midst of all that going on, have those moments where you lost faith, where you're like, I mean, I'm not lost total faith, but like, okay, Jesus, come on, man, help a brother out. What's going on with that?
Oh, I had plenty of prayerful moments where it was like, God, I have no idea why this is happening, or
see, you're not alone. That's Drew Brees. That's the same feeling.
What the plan is, but you know, I trust you. Listen, it was tested. Faith was certainly tested.
Yeah.
But I felt like I always, you know, from that moment on,
yeah, sure.
when I took Jesus in my heart, I felt like God always had a plan for me, and it may not be the plan that I had intended, you know, but that I was going to trust Him and believe that it was all happening for a reason.
The reason I say that is because you're in this room today, man, and